Yesterday, the Minister of Education announced that Jamaican students will be sitting CSEC starting July 27. The 2020 schedule of the regional exams has been a hot topic. Lots of controversy in several territories. And so this morning, we're checking in with some folks who are preparing to participate in this year's sitting. We have chemistry and biology teacher Onaji Bell. And we're also joined by student and CXC candidate Kyle Pratt and his mother, Christine, who is also a teacher. So good morning to everyone and welcome.
Morning.
Kyle, I'm going to start with you because we've heard from everybody else, but we haven't heard from the students. Are you prepared to sit the exams? And if so, how? How are you so prepared?
Well, I'm prepared for CSEC. That I've set a schedule for study and ensure that it will perform. Whenever the exam comes around, if it comes around, then I'm ready for the exam.
Kyle, we're going to ask you to speak a little bit more loudly because your audio is a little low.
Okay. Yes. So I'm ready for CSEC, so that because I've set out a schedule that I study everything I need to study, so that when the exam comes around, if it comes around, I'll be ready for whatever they want to throw at me. However, I can't speak for the entirety of the students, as some of them aren't provided with the same means as I am.
Yeah.
So they might not be able to be as prepared as I am.
Yeah.
So thank you.
So your mom is also a teacher. Christine, before we go to Najee, Christine, you've seen the disruption. You've seen what's been happening with schools, with the education system, the toggling between are we doing this, are we not doing this? What is your feeling now about Jamaica saying, all right, we're gonna do this? Because we were holding out for a little while, weren't sure what was going to happen, but now we have to be on board. So what was your feeling about this from the start?
Well, from the start, it was a mixed feeling. And my colleagues even, they too share in this mixed feeling. The whole thing is debatable, for want of a better word. And I think while it is that some Jamaican children are ready for it, there are others who are at a disadvantage given the lapse of time and not being able to be in a classroom situation. And so they are at a disadvantage. And while it is that it might be that we have more time to prepare up until July 27th, when we are supposed to start the exams, there's not so much for the students. It's more for putting the logistics in place for the exams to happen. I guess the results will really show how well we were really prepared, because even bringing back the students in now to have them go through and finish SDAs if they weren't able to complete that, we're talking about the additional stress. You're thinking about your health, you're thinking about finishing up SDAs, you're thinking about the exams. And yes, it's one paper, which will put some students at an advantage. And I think that is what CXC wanted to do, to create an even playing ground, and that will. But at the same time, how prepared mentally will they be? And that's a part of my question. For Kyle, for some of the other students who are able to have the study facilities and having online classes, and they're able to be doing what they need to be doing, we can't speak for the whole Jamaica.
Yeah, Onaji, I want you to weigh in here because as a teacher, does this change the way you now engage the students? Lessons now are going to be about prepping them for the exams as opposed to reinforcing things that they would have learned in class?
Not really, Delia. I mean, it is a class is a class, and we still prepare for an exam. the online sessions does provide some kind of limitation, but at the same time, I think forces us as a lot more organized, fully structured than a person. There are certain things that you miss, which is engaging the student on an individual basis, that kind of thing where they're answering immediately at you and you get to participate a little bit more. Student participation is missing. But the online platforms, I think, does allow us to really does allow us to focus on the session. And I think if done properly, could actually bring perspective.
Because in your case, a chemistry and biology teacher, I'm sorry, Simone, your SBA, I'm thinking, would include experiments and things that happen in the lab. I might be mistaken. How do you counter that when children are at home and they're online?
Well, for most of us, we should have done our SBAs already. So
Okay.
hopefully, for most of the teachers, the SBA grades would have been in already, and they would have completed most of their lab. And at this point, they would probably just be writing up the labs and getting it done properly. Fortunately for me, I teach a lot more theory than I do lab preparation. So I don't really get into a lot of that, but I know a lot of my colleagues are challenging.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised these days, though, Delia, what you can achieve on the web. The interactive tutorials with online labs. I mean, online labs have been going on for about maybe even as much as 5-6 years now. So as much as it is a different platform and an eye-opener, I think there is still a whole lot of diligence by us as and of course, should translate better.
Okay, so Naja, you said you think, if we do this right, it could actually work well come July. What's the feeling you're getting from your students? Kyle says he feels ready, but he doesn't know if his counterparts had the access he had. Christine is expressing concern for mental health of students. What's the feeling that you are getting from your cohort at this time? And I'm going to ask you to talk up a little more loudly and closer to your mic because your audio is dropping in and out.
Sure. Sorry about that.
Yes.
Well, generally, I would think that my students seem to be, most people are a little bit down about it. I was looking forward to getting an exam done, getting it out of the way in my usual May-June time frame. That didn't happen. And it's a sensitive thing, it's an exam. And some students are preparing for 6 to 8, sometimes in some cases even 9 or 10 exams. So the fact that that is just suddenly thrown out and not done in the typical contemporary way, I think is going to definitely put back on. Now, CXC and the CSEC governing body has made some adjustments in terms of their promise to students that they're only sitting at paper 1, which is a multiple choice exam, and they'll be using their SBA grades. Now, the multiple choice exam, one might think would be maybe an easier sitting because of the time frame and the fact of multiple choice. The paper 2, where we usually have to be writing for 2.5 hours, that's no longer in it. So there are some adjustments being made. And as we said before, if prepared properly, it might actually work. However, is this a standardized testing environment that is similar to last year? I don't think so. Is this will this affect students who are less fortunate and have less access to the internet? Of course. Yeah. So for that, I have some issues with it being a standard across the board exam. I don't think it is going to be that anymore as a result. But I mean, it's COVID-19 time. What can we do?
Yeah, gotcha. So it means pressing forward despite July is right around the corner. Christine and Kyle, you have some work to do. Kyle seems like he's ready, which is good.
Yeah.
I think teachers nowadays will have to be teaching not just theory, but also how to mentally kind of ramp up yourself for this, eh?
Yeah.
Tough.
Mock exams give students a chance to, mentally prepare, but we have to work it out. We have to figure out how we're going to get through this. I want to thank you for joining us this morning to discuss. It's something we have to keep talking about and trying to help our students and parents and teachers to find a way to make this work. Discussing the CXC controversy with chemistry and biology teacher Onaji Bell, student and CXC candidate Kyle Pratt, and his mom, who's also a teacher, Christine Pratt.
Naji, have you checked in on your uncle? Is he all right? Can you go?
Yeah, he's all right. He's all right.
Can you go check in on him because he's a little pale and we're looking to get some sun. So if you can go drag him out of the house. Yeah, please.
Will do.
And thanks. All right. Good.
All right, guys, Stick and Stay Girl Talk is next on the agenda. We take a break and then we'll come right back.